Hello. Check. This is fine. Check. Check. There we go. Hello. Friends and meaty friends. How's everyone doing today? You like this potatoey webcam? I don't think I've ever used it. Morning, Debbie. Oh, man. How's everyone doing today? All 7 of you. Good morning from Northwest Wisconsin. Your face is looking thinner. That's surprising considering this camera is terrible. Thank you, though. Hello. Good morning from Idaho. Oh, yeah? How's your 4 weeks been? How do you feel? How do you feel overall? It's been good for you? It's been difficult? Hey, y'all. How y'all? You doing all right? Is it Cassie or Larry on? Or is it both of y'all? How you doing today, man? Very easy, and I feel incredible. That's good to hear. I'm glad it's working out for you. You gonna stick with it after the 4 weeks? I'm also on a hotel internet right now, and I'm not too sure how well it looks. So hopefully it's okay. It looked fine on my phone. So oh yeah, I can believe it. What's the biggest benefit you've seen from it, Debbie? The carnivore curmudgeon. Love your content. Keep up your good work. Thank you. Glad you enjoy it. Gonna try to keep it up. It's not been easy lately. I've actually got to go drive today to the hotel, which is about 4 hours away. Actually, I don't have to go to the hotel, so it's just got to drive. Just feel like I'm brand new inside. I can understand that. It's crazy how well you feel. You know, we stick to it. Yeah, I totally understand. Glad it worked out for you. Pork rind genius. I should get that on a hat. Let's get a trucker cap that says pork rind genius. I'm into it. Oh. Speaking of pork rinds, I had some yesterday with some chicken salad, and got some grocery store chicken salad, which was a whole mistake because it was the one with like I don't know, it just wasn't good. Was it number one? It wasn't good. Number two was filled with a bunch of garbage. I have no intention of ever changing my diet. This is what my body needs. Well, understand. Totally understand. I'm very happy that it's working out for you. I need to hop back on it full bore while the winter's starting to hit because it's gonna be a long winter otherwise. that seasonal depression is real, and it seems to be curbed whenever I just stick to this diet 100%, or at least 95%. Good morning, amazing people. I fell off the wagon, but determined to right my wrongs as possible. What how far, like, did you fall off really hard? Is it just like a one-time thing? Because no matter if you did fall off, you don't need to beat yourself up about it. The biggest thing you need to do is just hop back on. The wagon's still moving, and all you gotta do is catch up with it. You're so inventive with your recipes and your brown butter ideas. I make little frozen discs to punch carb cravings away. Any ideas how to change them up? I don't know. I'm not one that really just eats butter like that. It's never been my thing. If it's your thing, keep doing it. But like, I do like the flavor of brown butter. It's obviously a much more flavorful thing. Personally, when I do brown butter, I do with herbs. I'll once it's brown, I'll turn the heat off and I'll throw some herb in it, usually sage or rosemary, and it just adds a lot of flavor to it. And you pull that out, you don't have to actually eat it, but that's definitely an interesting way to have brown butter. I see you're kind of wanting it. Probably, I would imagine you're wanting it for more of a sweets kind of craving. If you have any sweeteners that you can tolerate, maybe throw just like a pinch of that in there, or even I could see. I would say throw some electrolytes in there, but the only one that would be good is the chocolate electrolytes from Element. So maybe those could be some possibilities. It depends on if you want sweet or savory, honestly. And maybe that'll help you out. But I do like brown butter. I have ghee in my vehicle, so it's you can't brown ghee because it's just the fat from the butter. So it's whatever. Thank you so much, Chef, for your meal ideas. Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad you have tried them and enjoy them. Will this live disappear? I want to listen to the beginning. No, it shouldn't. It should stay up. And if it does, I am very sorry. I'm pretty sure I set it to where it posts after it's done. What I really should do is start recording. Probably start recording these as well, just to have backups, because I don't even know, like 4 terabytes of video files backed up on solid state drives now. Any holiday ideas coming up? I really want to do more Thanksgiving ideas again this year, because last year I did one per week, because I was still only doing one video a week. And it sucks because I probably did like my biggest ideas then, which would be my carnivore dressing, which is when I came up with the carnivore cornbread, the turkey roulade, which I really like, but I guess people don't really want to do that much work for turkey, which is fine. And maybe I'll just come up with something else, maybe like an all-in-one turkey something meatball. I have no idea. I want to make these more fun, because those recipes last year were more straightforward. It kind of felt like I wanted the Thanksgiving food. So I could always, do like a turkey taco or something, like take the dressing and maybe add eggs to it and fry it up like a tortilla shell and put turkey and I don't know, just stuff like that. Like, I think doing some fun things with that could keep it more interesting for me, for sure. We recently smoked some pork jowl, the best bacon. Yeah, that is some good stuff. It's called guanciale typically, and it's very well. I think if it's cured pork jowl, it's called guanciale, and it's usually expensive because you don't really get much of that jowl meat from the pig, and so whenever you're buying it for distribution, it's a lot of money, typically, like in the tens of dollars per pound, or at least from what I've seen in my experience. And that could be just bad timing on my part because pork prices fluctuate so frequently. It's kind of hard to know whenever I'm looking at something if it's a normal price. I made the baked mac and cheese, fried it, and heard you liked it better. As I heard you liked it better. The sauce was over the top delicious. I discovered I just don't like chicken anymore at this point. I understand. Personally, I use chicken just as a protein source because, like I've said on Instagram a lot, I can totally eat an entire rotisserie chicken and feel like I've eaten nothing. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I guess just the structure of the protein is a little bit different. Maybe I don't know. Plus, I've heard a lot about like ruminant meat and the nutrient density versus single gastric system animals not having nearly as much nutrient density. So that could be a part of it too. Plus, the flavor does get old after a while because it's usually bland. Love all your videos. Awesome channel. Thank you so much. Hey, Kimberly. Good morning. And it's okay, man. I've been the same way. I've been busy for a full month. I'm just glad it's kind of coming to an end. It's $2.99. That's pretty expensive for pork, but considering what it is and you made it taste awesome, it's worth it, I think. And like I said, I think what I'm thinking of is cured and smoked, typically, kind of like the way you would make bacon. Oh man. Yeah, I drove up yesterday to the other town I usually stay in. It's about three and a half hour drive up here, and by the time I just got done and settled, I decided to get a hotel room because I now have these nice hotel rates, discounted rates from working at the hotel down at the beach. All I want is steak. Can't taste great. Yeah, I know how that goes. Ground beef gets pretty old pretty quickly. Actually, not pretty quickly. It does get old though. I could probably go at least a full month eating it every single day and be okay. But there's something there's definitely a point where it crosses over and it's just like I can't even bear to look at this. Um, yeah, yeah, I get it. What I usually do to break that up is I don't even typically get steak. I'll get steak sometime, but uh, I'll get pork, like pork chops, typically just to break it up because I think it's more to do with the texture than it is like the actual meat itself, like the type of meat. But again, it's one of those things that pork doesn't do too much for me, and actually pork can sometimes upset my stomach just depending on how fatty it is. Oof, yeah, it sucks. There you go. Chicken does fill me. Well, that's good. I wish chicken did something because it's really strange to eat, 1,300, 1,400 calories in chicken, and you're just like, I feel like I could go lift weights right now and be okay. So it's a weird phenomenon, in my opinion. Oh man, a beef tongue this weekend in preparation for No Plant November. Oh yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. I've never actually made it myself. I should probably do that now that you bring that up because I know they have it everywhere that I've seen. It's usually next to tripe and liver and kidneys. Even at Walmart, they have tongue at Walmart. What'd you do to prepare it? Because I do like it. I do it every time I get tacos. I usually get lingua as part of them. Oh, I got you. Yeah, yeah. I see. I don't know what it is with chicken. It's just kind of I don't know. Doesn't do anything. I love how you transform food. How about transforming Thanksgiving leftover bland turkey? I could probably do that. Um, I want to say I was going to do something with that last year, but I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, that sounds good. crock pot for 8 hours and then finish it making fat in a pan. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Nice and easy. Beef heart is delicious. Heart in general, like I've also had venison heart. That was it tastes like it's like tenderloin in flavor basically. We mix it up with the different meats. No organ meats yet. Still love our ground beef scramble. Well, good. The only organ meats I really like are heart. The only thing that I don't like about heart is that it takes a lot to clean up. There's a lot of little heart pieces and ventricles and all those whatever things, and it's just I don't know. I think it's worth the cleaning. It's just man, it's a lot that you lose whenever you clean up a heart, but it is really good. And liver, like the only way I'll eat liver is either in liverwurst or by pate, and usually the only pate I like is the one I make. And if you want to see that, it's on my page. But it's I don't know. Every time I've had like store bought pate, it's very I don't know. It's very underseasoned, or just it's not very good. And I've had a couple that are good, but I've never been able to find them again. Let's see. Thanksgiving, I'm having turkey, shrimp, sauteed in butter, and beef tenderloin. Plenty of love. But yeah, sounds like a good Thanksgiving. Good morning. How are you? Hank Shaw has a great marinade for venison heart. Beef liver. How can a newbie cook beef liver? Honestly, if you're strict carnivore, I would just saute it in butter. Or you could do the pate, like I was saying. That's 1 pound of beef liver, 1 stick of butter, 1 cup of beef broth, and a teaspoon of salt. Sometimes I'll add garlic to it, but not every time. And I blend that, and it's very, it's actually a good kind of snack, really. But you can honestly was adding it to everything, to all of my meals, and I enjoyed it. Hey, thank you so much, Larry. I appreciate you. Looking forward to hearing the Thanksgiving ideas, Chef. Got to run. Hit the like button, y'all. Yeah, please hit the like button. Thank you so much. I grind my liver, heart, and tongue and mix it with ground beef. I mean, that's a good idea too. I've seen there's a U.S. Wellness Meats does this, and it's they have a organ blend ground beef, so it's yeah. But back to the liver, yeah, just cast iron pan and butter, like Kimberly says. Or if you still eat things like onions, liver and onions is a very classic dish, and it kind of helps mask the flavor of the liver. Just the sweetness of the onion and the flavor of the onion in general. Fry with bacon, also a great idea. Do you follow Paul Saladino? I do not follow Paul Saladino. He has a great book. The book he wrote, The Carnivore Code, was really good. It's still very relevant, has great information. But him as a person, I don't really follow because he's doing a lot of marketing. He's kind of like Liver King. He's doing a whole lot of marketing, and I don't feel like being marketed to by I don't know, just crazy, like especially Paul Saladino. It kind of freaks me out, man. I'm sure the information he's giving is fine and it's good, but like I made a post recently about how I'm just getting so much conflicted information and it's making me lose my mind. So I don't really follow much of anyone anymore. I do follow Sean Baker just because he puts out good info, but I don't really look at his content because mostly it's just making fun of vegans. Which I don't care. I don't care to make fun of vegans. I'm not a part of some gang to gang up on a bunch of people. It's not what I'm here for. But I'm just trying to get good information. So I don't really follow Paul Saladino, but his book's great if you haven't checked it out. We'll do that with simplicity. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah. Surprisingly decent coffee at the hotel. So if I love my ground beef, but I want to expand to add liver. Honestly, it's so cheap. You might as well just go pick up a pack of it and just try it out. You never know. You never know what's going to be work what you if you even number one if you even like it, and number two if you like it with other food. So it's worth just kind of cutting it up and adding it to your food time to time. I'll throw up a poll because I'm just kind of curious if you drink coffee. Um, see, I've never done this either, so I can't really eat eggs. They make my stomach come cramp. Is there any good substitute? You see, I also have issues with eggs. The thing I found out is that number one, I was eating way too many eggs. Like I was probably eating at the beginning, especially, I was probably eating 6 to 10 eggs a day just because it was something that easy to throw on top and it would, would keep me full. But over time, it started to give me like stomach issues, like just bloat and all that stuff. So what I did was I pulled back from eggs for about a week or two at the beginning, and I just started eating the egg yolks, like because I just heard and saw other people posting talking about eggs can cause sensitivities. So I saw they were tossing their egg whites out, so I just started eating egg yolks, and I was really eating mostly raw egg yolks, putting it on top of food and mixing it in, but it was still kind of messing with my stomach, but not nearly as bad whenever I had the whole egg, because I would test it every now and then. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just eat a few eggs instead of a few egg yolks, see what happens. And yeah, it's just the same thing. But that was probably over a year ago that I did that, and I found that over the past year, I could tolerate maybe 3 to 5 eggs a week. Like I had eggs this morning for the first time in, I don't know, 6 or 7 days. And typically I only eat eggs when I crave them. Like there's got to be, I'm assuming there's something like the choline or something in the eggs that's making me crave the eggs, because I can eat them like once or twice a week and be fine. The second I start eating them every day is when I start having issues and it starts killing my stomach. But it's just one of those things you have to test. If you're having some stomach issues, I would definitely take a break from them, and then come back with just the yolks. See how that does for you, because I really don't think there's much of a good substitute for eggs. They're very unique in their properties, the way they cook up, the way they combine with things, the way you can whip the whites to make meringues and all these cloud breads and stuff like that. Calf's liver is not as strong and a good way to start eating. I've never had calf's liver. I don't think I've ever seen calf's liver either, or at least just not available to me. Look around for it though. Thank you, John. It's a good little tip. All right, looks like the majority of you drink coffee. That's interesting. I've had a lot of people over the past couple of years just comment talking about how they don't drink coffee and how it's not carnivore and all this stuff. And it's just like, man, you gotta drop it at some point. It's just I get that's just bean water, but it's comfort for me, honestly, at this point. Plus, I'm on my feet, up to 12 hours a day easily, and I gotta have something just to either calm me and soothe me or just actually keep me going. Yeah, absolutely. You can get calf liver from Walmart. Okay, I'll have to look around for it. It's I know that there'll be like some Spanish stuff like in the refrigerated section near the beef, and they'll have tongue and all that. Maybe it's over there too. So I've never really looked. On plant seed wars, yeah. All this talk about liver is giving me a hankering for some liver, onion, and bacon. I mean, do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. I don't know that I've ever had liver and onions. Actually, I take that back. Yeah, I have. It's a thing in the South. Never mind. It's been a long time since I've had liver and onions. Only thing is, whenever I had it, it was liver, onions, and gravy on rice, maybe. Dr. Ken Berry and Dr. Rob Seibert are both carnivores and both drink black coffee. Okay. There's ketovore and carnivore, and then there's lion diet, and the lion diet is no coffee. Oh no, trust me, I know all the differences between the words that people use to say that they eat meat. It's just it just becomes convoluted after a while, and it's kind of hard to listen to people. Thank you. I rarely eat eggs anymore. Yeah, just like I said, just try the yolks out for a while. You can even cook them. Like I was just eating them raw because I was either lazy or I saw it as a good thing. But yeah, just try them out. Like if you still have issues with them, just keep on giving them a break. Test them. I would say test them every couple months or so if you're doing that. Just give your body some sort of, I don't even know if it's an actual reset. This is all speculative at this point and based on my own trials. So maybe it'll work for you too. It's just hard to tell. What time is it? 9:26. I don't know what time my checkout is. I'm hoping it's 11. I really don't know. It doesn't say on the site. So we'll figure it out. I'm sure they'll kick me out otherwise. Hang on. There we go. Are you 100% carnivore or like 80-20? Man, over October, I was barely 50-50, to be honest. I started a second job and just kind of threw off my entire routine and traveling 3 hours between the two jobs and worrying about this book and then all this other stuff and making videos. And it got pretty overwhelming for a while there. Over the past, I'd say 3 to 5 days, I've gotten back to about 85-15, which is much better than what I was doing because it was getting pretty wild there for a bit. Definitely a lot of joint pain going on, a lot of random injuries. I quit going to the gym. But like I said, over the past 3 to 5, maybe 5 days, I found a pretty good, decent routine. I'm about 85% carnivore at this current moment. So yeah, it's one of those things that's always going to be cyclical, in my opinion. It's not completely sustainable for me to stay 100% carnivore at this point. Maybe if I work from home or, don't have to travel as much, or if I stop living in my van, it'll probably be a lot easier then. But right now it is what it is. And I'm just glad to be back up to about 85%. Because I can definitely feel it pretty quickly. Hey man, I appreciate your videos. Just want to ask, could you recommend an alternative to pork panko or pork rinds in your recipes? Thanks. Messaging from England. I've had a lot of people ask me this question, and it's a really hard one to answer because there's not much in the way of creating that texture on this diet other than dehydrating things. Like I don't know how carnivore crisps or carnivore snacks are made. I feel like that would be a good alternative to pork rinds. It's just I've never tested it myself because it's either going to work out well or it's going to rehydrate the pieces of meat and it'll just be like meat again. The only other thing I've thought of that could be good is getting enough chicken skin and baking it off and grinding that down. But that's a lot of chicken skin. And chicken skin is usually way more saturated with fat than pork skin is, or else it seemingly is. Because the membrane on the chicken skin is a lot thinner and it's right next to the to the fatty tissue, and whereas pork is you can pretty easily separate it from the fat. And I have not heard anybody talking about any other alternatives for pork rinds. And I've had this question a lot, especially over the past like couple of years, and just especially from people your part of the world, they say that the pork rinds are either gross or they're made with nasty ingredients, or they just straight up can't eat it because they don't eat pork. So it's a really tough question to answer, and I wish I had a better answer than that, but it's really the only one I have. Yeah, I don't know. If you're trying to make things like the tortillas that I have, you can always make, it'll be very, very soft, but you can always make just you can blend ground beef and eggs. And I think I have a pancake recipe with, I do. It's just pancakes. Look up carnivore pancakes on my channel. If there's pork rinds in it, just omit them. It should hold together just because it's a lot of eggs and beef. And you could probably use that if that's what you're looking for as an alternative. So, it's like, that's a really hard question to answer. Hey, Reed, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. How are you? Oh, hey, Emily. Has anyone noticed a difference in how pasture-raised versus standard eggs react to their stomach? Personally, I do. It's I've had both and I've tested both, obviously. But the cheaper eggs, the standard eggs, like cheap, whatever, well, they're expensive now, but they seem to do less harm to my stomach than the pasture-raised ones do. I don't know why. I don't know if there's an excess of something in the pasture-raised eggs that I already have in my system. So that's just me though. If anyone else has had any of that anecdotal experience, I'd love to hear it too. I'm amazed by keto carnivore folks who can handle sweeteners, because any hint of sweetener makes me crave really bad. I can see that. That's a pretty big trigger. And the reason being, I want to say that most if not all sweeteners, trigger the exact same response that sugar triggers. It just doesn't have a physical response. Or maybe it even has a physical response. I can't remember. I just know that sweeteners I believe they bypass the liver. And if I'm saying something stupid right now, please ignore me. I want to say it's not necessarily bypasses the liver, it metabolizes differently in the liver. Yeah, I can see that though. I have things I can have, like erythritol. Things with erythritol don't typically trigger anything for me. I've seen people that it like ruins their day when they have erythritol. So it's one of those things that is going to be on a case-by-case basis. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to be ending the stream here in just a moment. If you haven't seen my video, chicken fingers, I'd like for you to go check that out. How much of a negative impact do you think when eating carb counter street tacos keto by La Banderita when it comes to weight loss? That's also a good question. I don't know about weight loss per se, but definitely I've found that those have a very inflammatory effect on me. I don't know if it's from the excessive fiber or what, but eating those, I get immediately bloated. I feel pretty nauseous. As far as weight loss, your weight loss is all going to be determined by your caloric intake and output. So the real issue here is going to be, is eating this carb counter taco shell going to trigger me to eat more later? Is it going to add an excess in calories to my day? Those are the two biggest things that I see from it. Because personally, if I'm going to eat those and I feel like I'm eating a real tortilla, I'm probably going to eat like 4 or 5 of them. Just because it's like, oh, it's fine, it's low carb, I can eat as many as I want. And you look at the packaging and there might be 80 calories per tortilla. So, that's 320 extra calories on top of the 1,000 calories of ground beef with taco seasoning I just had. Maybe even add cheese to, this is just, if you need it and you really want it, have it, but limit it. Just make it like a thing you have every once in a while. If I were to keep those around, I would definitely gain weight so much faster because they are good. They're really good, and I will suffer the stomach pain to eat them. But it's just, it's not for me. Like it's a trigger food for me. It's really what it is, and it could be for you, and that could be what it does for you and your weight loss. All right. Get y'all to check out this video. Put it up last Thursday. It's the only Halloween video I've ever done. It was a spur of the moment video, and I wanted to, I just wanted to do something for Halloween because, like I said, I haven't done it before. It's basically chicken cordon bleu wrapped with prosciutto instead of ham. Look at much, I guess. Prosciutto is just ham, but it was a fun one to make. I made it in the van. It was very tricky to make in the van. So it's probably going to be a lot easier for you to make if you do try it out. Hope y'all have a very safe and happy Halloween. Enjoy it. Go take your kids out to get some candy, and then try not to eat the candy if you do that. Yeah. I'm glad to hop on here. Should probably do this more often. This is actually a lot of fun. So I haven't done it in a good bit, so it's nice to get on and talk to people. But anyways, I will see y'all next time. Oh.